Borderlands was the first game to do the whole MMO, the RPG, add the RPG facet to first person shooters. In my opinion, I think it is. I think it's the first one. But it wasn't. It wasn't something that was. It wasn't a problem. One might think it would make the first person shooter seem bad or what's the word I'm looking for. One might think that having RPG elements in a shooter would cause problems in the shooter. I guess is really the only way I can think of it. But it actually does a really, really good job of combining those two genres of gameplay, and still the game being very, very fun, very, very good. You feel by killing enemies and all that stuff, and getting all the getting experience and leveling up, you feel accomplished when you're taking on an enemy that's really, really strong, and you may be having trouble with it. You go level up a little bit, and you can go back and fight him again, and that really feels, to me, that really feels good when you're able to do that. So you can go back to the vault. And luckily, though, when I come back to the vault, the destroyer is not going to be here again. Now, with that said, I do have some complaints about the game. First of all, the story. In all honesty, the story is actually pretty bland and I wouldn't say hard to follow, because it's really not that hard to follow. The story is really just go find the vault. There really isn't a whole lot of true story to the game other than just go find the vault. Nope. Now you can understand how the storyline went, as far as, okay, we went to go fight Baron Flint, who supposedly had another piece of the vault key, but turns out that was a lie. Baron didn't have a vault key at all. There's another iridium weapon. That makes 4 iridium. Well, okay, 3 that I found. 4 because the one guy had an iridium weapon. So okay, I'll go ahead and grab this one. There's another orange level, another mugshot. Okay. So because Tannis was tricked into lying to us about the vault key. Oh, hey, look at this. Oh, an explosive artifact. Nice. Go ahead and equip those real quick, even though even though I'm not going to be using them for anything. Why can't I use it? Shock artifact. Why can't I use the shock artifact? Oh, my shock is level 3 already. Okay. Alright, my bad. Get the other one then. Was it explosive? Yeah. There we go. And now I have explosive level 3. Okay. Tannis was tricked into telling you that the vault was, the key was taken, and or was taken by or the vault was not taken, not tricked into, but Steele had tricked Tannis into following and getting the vault key from her and all that, and that much we figured out. And once the it was like, okay, it was like step by step. Step 1 was to gain the trust of the people of Pandora. Pretty much the only one we really had to get the trust of was Tannis. Once we had the trust of Tannis, she was able to help us find the vault pieces. I mean, with the help of the angel, of course. Angel kind of helped guide us toward the first few vault pieces. But I know you can actually see those guys from over here. Anybody else? No, that's not what I wanted. Step 2 was to find all of the vault pieces. We did that. Once we did that, we got lied to and said there was still one piece left of the key, and that was what Baron Flint had. Turns out he didn't. That's where the lie came from. Then step 3 was to get the vault key back, which we didn't have to really, which we did by going to get, by going and dealing with Steel, Commandant Steel. All that really happened in that case was all we had to do at that point was get to the vault. So step 3 is really just get to the vault, because the vault was already going to be open because Steel had the key. And then that's it. That's the end of the story. It's really just that simple. First, gain the trust of Tannis. 2, get the vault key pieces. 3, open the vault. And while you weren't physically the one opening the vault because you didn't have the key, the person that did have the key was going to open the vault for you, and that's all that needed to be done. So, in all honesty, the story is really actually kind of bland and empty. And also the fact there was no, outside of maybe like the intro of the game and the when the whole scene around Baron Flint, when Atlas and Steel turned off the Echo Network and got that whole conversation, all of the entire story was really told just through those just through the text in those in the missions, which really seemed to be which in hindsight is not really a great way to tell a story. I mean, it's not really interactive, not really fun, it's not cinematic, not really that good when you look at it from future games, which have a much more detailed storytelling way. There's more cinematics. There's actually people talking a lot more during the story. Whenever you go do it, pretty sure all of the missions in the game have somebody, actually a voice actor, actually saying, "Hey, this is what's going to happen. Here's why this happened. Here's why you're going to go do it. Please go do it." So other than just here's all the text. Here's the reason for doing this on text. There you go do it. At least there's actually somebody actually telling you where, when, and why you're doing those things. So as far as the storytelling goes, kind of bland. But considering this was the first game to do this whole RPG shooter kind of set combination together, it was okay that storytelling wasn't really as good as it could have been, because they wanted to make sure the gameplay was fun, and I think they nailed that very, very well. From beginning to end, the gameplay is unbelievably, phenomenally fun. Whether you're playing solo or playing co-op. And honestly, co-op is a lot more fun. Personally, I think any game with co-op is a lot more fun. But Borderlands is definitely an example of a very, very fun co-op shooter. Now, as far as one of the complaints I want to make is just the and it really is just a minor thing, because again, it may be just my lack of talent, but the sniper rifles, all of the guns throughout the game are very, very good, and I like the fact that you actually had separate archetypes for each gun. You had pistols and rocket launchers and shotguns and all that, and they each had like a different proficiency that allowed you to use that particular type of weapon more and more often. You would get better and better and better at it. Just like here with mine, you see, I used pistols during the entire game, whether I was using revolvers or repeaters, and I'm level 17. I have 15% damage boost, 36% reload speed, and 54% accuracy, which for revolvers, they're already very, very accurate to begin with. And then you add 54% on top of that, you probably just go bang, and you're going to hit anything, pretty much. And close your eyes and you just pull the trigger, and you're pretty much going to hit anything. And then, you got shotguns and all this stuff, and I like how they, it's got a cooldown rate here and accuracy and all that stuff, so I did like this very, very much. The proficiencies very, very much. The problem to that was early on, especially sniper rifles, and throughout the game, sniper rifles are just so terrible with accuracy. As many times I've played this game with sniper rifles, unless I had one that was very, very high in accuracy, like almost 99% accuracy, the sniper rifles were absolutely terrible with where I aimed. You could put the dot right over a stationary target, right over his head, pull the trigger, and the bullet will end up way over there. Or we'll hit him in the body, maybe. Or just shoot anywhere else. Sniper rifles were terrible with their accuracy in this game. Fortunately, they improved that in the future games, at least in Borderlands 2. But in this game, sniper rifles, again, at least in my hands, are absolute shit, which is why you never saw me use one. I can't really think of anything else I want to say about the game. It was a fun game. Although I do want another plus side to something else that was really, really cool about this game is the variations in the weapons. There's so many of them. I like how you didn't just go like something else that was different about this game that I really couldn't get a concept of before I actually played this game. I was used to whenever you played a first-person shooter, pretty much every first-person shooter had maybe like 5 or 6 guns. Because that's all, you pick up an assault rifle, that's the only assault rifle in the game. You pick up a machine gun, or a rocket launcher, that's the only rocket launcher in the game. You pick up a shotgun, that's really the only shotgun in the game. I mean, you may have, a few variations. You may have like a shotgun, and you may have like a super shotgun, like in Doom. Or you may have like kind of like in Halo, you may have an assault, an assault rifle, but you had the Covenant version of the plasma rifle, which was the plasma fast-firing weapon, So, but for the most part, the guns in each of those shooter games were it was a small number. Whereas in this game, it was very much, again, like a RPG in that aspect. You could have lots and lots of different weapons. You could have several different types of swords in an RPG, and you got to pick the one that's best for your character, your playstyle, your party, whatever. In this game, there are the way the game is designed by randomly generating the model of the gun and the perks of the gun and so forth. There are literally millions of guns available in this game. The downside of that is, and I've shown this off a lot, I would say probably as much as 95, maybe as high as 97, 98% of the guns that you pick up are useless. Because once you pick up a gun that you really like in my case, I picked up this pistol with a high where is it? Right here, with very high damage, 66 times 7. Moderately good accuracy, which is going to improve as I use the gun more often, and a decent fire rate. How many times did I pick up a revolver, and I use that revolver for 10, 15, 20 levels, for a long time. And you get, a shotgun that was really, really good. You pick up I picked up the shotgun here. It's only a blue level shotgun. It's not even legendary or orange level. And I had this shotgun for practically the entire game. There are so few weapons that when you get their random roll, that they're actually worth using, because they're just the randomization of the RNG and the weapon and all that stuff is just so not really useful. You saw how many times I picked up weapons and just immediately going to go, this is immediately going to sell this. This is a crap weapon. This is a crap weapon. That's a crap weapon. And just immediately sold it as soon as I got to the next shop. So it's nice to have a huge selection of weapons, and the RNG about having, you could have 10 different pistols that look just like mine, or 10 different revolvers that look just like mine, but they're all going to have different stats. That's really nice. But likely 9 out of those 10 are going to be actually crap compared to number 10. And with the exception of, like I said, the fixed drops, like Sledge's shotgun, like the one off of Nine Toes and things like that, with those exceptions, it does really make the game feel like there's lots of random weapons available to you, and really spreads out. It really makes it unlikely that you're going to encounter 2 of the exact same weapon in every manner, and that's kind of cool. But just again, the biggest downside of having numbers of weapons that big is a vast majority of them are too useless and they're nothing but loot. You might as well just, instead of giving me 20 crap weapons, you might as well just give me the money those weapons are worth. Which is why I've got, $18 million or $1.8 million here, because I sold everything I could have. That was just in the main story. I've played the DLCs before and gotten through all the DLCs and actually maxed out my money, or I got 9,99999 money, 9,999,999 money. And you can, I've said before, you can actually sell beyond that, and the game will actually count above that, but you won't see anything. The display won't go higher than 9,99999, but you can actually go beyond that in the game. It'll count higher than that. But anyway, that's beside the point. But I can go through all the DLC and max out my money because all the weapons and gear and stuff that you're going to get are just not any good. Even all the stuff I picked up from the vault just now, even these two orange level weapons. The mugshot is kind of good, but even this orange pistol is not. This orange repeater is not as good as my repeater, and it's a lower level and it's lower rarity. It's purple rarity and it's 4 levels below it. So that's that's the only downside. That's a downside, in my opinion, of having so many weapons. It's just you're going to be selling a vast majority of it. And I think it's just kind of a waste. Other than that, Borderlands 1 is an incredibly good game. I was glad to be able to revisit it again. I had so much fun with it. And I can't wait to get to the future games. I'm really excited for Borderlands 2 because I've played Borderlands 2 before. And while Borderlands 1 is really, really good, and minus the things I complained about, pretty much all of those complaints, with the exception of the amount of weapons, are gone in Borderlands 2. Storyline is told much better. In Borderlands 2, is actually they actually adjusted the RNG to there's actually even more weapons available to you. So there's even more crap that you're going to end up selling. So that didn't change. But as far as positives, pretty much anything that I complained about here in Borderlands 1 is fixed in Borderlands 2, and that's really, really good. I can't wait to get to it because 2 is so much fun. So many good characters. So they also upped the comedy in Borderlands 2. It's really, really a funny game. The dialogue and the banter sometimes between characters, it's so funny. There's sometimes I'll just get on YouTube, I'll just go search Borderlands 2 banter or something like that, and just watch videos of conversations between characters. It's just so funny, so hilarious. Can't wait to get to it. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and wrap. Oh, speaking of pre-sequel, again, I've only played a little bit of pre-sequel, like the first 5 minutes, because I just wanted to kind of get a feel for the different classes. Other than that, pre-sequel is going to be a completely blind run, so I'm not going to know anything about pre-sequel. So it's just to give you that advance notice. So, all right, let's go ahead and go in here and talk to Tannis. Hi, Tannis. Thank you for bringing this to me. The cash sum should cover the hardships you've endured and ensure your continued silence. The key won't work again for hundreds of years, but I must keep it from falling into the wrong hands. In the meantime, I will continue my research. It appears that there is more to be learned from the Iridians than weaponry and spaceships. And we're going to turn this in. We're going to get 17,000 experience. We're going to get $234,885. Collect a reward. And with that, we are done with Borderlands. I
guess you're leaving?
Yeah, that's what happens when I walk out a door. Typically, that's what I'm going to be doing, is leaving. Not just this game, not just this room, but this game as well. All the only missions I have left are these two, horde mode missions. I think there may be one more horde mode mission somewhere that I'm forgetting about, or maybe I'm thinking of the DLC. But anyway, if you want me to do these two, I may do them at some point. Maybe if I'm waiting for Borderlands 3 to come out, or maybe after I complete the entire Borderlands series. Excuse me, the entire Borderlands series, I might come back and do these. Other than that, I really have no desire to do these. But if you want me to, I will. So whatever. In the meantime, this has been Borderlands 1. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. That's going to do it. As always, at the end of every series, I like to send a special appreciation to the men and women of the United States military, both at home and overseas, as well as police officers and firefighters around the country. Without you guys doing what you do, I would not be free to do this. So thank you very much. You guys are all true heroes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the links at the end of this video for the entire Borderlands playlist. Get ready for the rest of the Borderlands series, as it's coming soon. This has been Borderlands. I'm Scoryth, the Crimson Renegade. See you later.